How's it going, guys? So, I'm going to show you how I do tutorials real quick. Um, this will give you an excellent audio and video properties. There are several ways to do it. This is just the way I do it. This is the way I found that's easiest for me. Is what I'll do is on my phone, I'll turn on, which you can't see that because it's just a white screen, but I'll turn on my sound recorder and I'll start recording. So, right now I'm recording audio on my phone. And the first thing you want to do is just let it record absolute silence for about 10 seconds. Okay, so that's about 10 seconds worth of silent recording. The next thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and load up my presentation. And whenever I start this presentation, you're going to see me clap. This is what Hollywood uses for film because they record video and audio separately. This is called a clapper. One of the more cheaper ways you can do this is just clap your hands together and you just look for the spikes. So I'm going to start this presentation and I'll show you how to line it up and everything. So if we hit start from the beginning, this will pop up, and then whenever I tell it to start, like as soon as I tell it to start, I'll quickly do this, or I'll do that first and then I will start. I'll hit start slideshow. So I'm actually going to clap kind of loud. This way I can line up the audio and video. Okay, so right here is where you'd start your presentation. So this is some presentation where there's something here, and then the next slide does, it transitions after 20 seconds or whatever. Right here we have more slides talking about the images and everything. This is a white screen, very beautiful image. It's the greatest image you've ever seen. So after you're done with your presentation, you can go and close this out. I do not want to save. And then after that is what we'll do is we'll save this video file to that. So I will be right back. Okay, so once you're done with that, your phone is going to save as like a 3 or .3 GPP file. This is what mine is right here on my desktop. Yeah, my desktop is clouded or crowded, whatever. So you're going to want some kind of audio converter to convert this to a .mp3 or .wav file. I'll usually do a MP3 just because it's a smaller file size and everything. You're also going to want to download Audacity. Audacity is a free software. It's very, very great to use. I've used it for video games as well as my presentations here at Full Sail. So once the conversion is completed, you can go and close that out. And what we want to do is open up Audacity. And we can just drag this on in here. Now, if you remember at the beginning, I said you need to record about 10 seconds of silence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this section right here. And I'm going to go into Effect. I'm going to go down to Noise Reduction. In fact, before I do that, if I play it, you can see right here it's actually picking something up. So if I go to Noise Reduction, I'm going to get Noise Profile, and then I'll go back to Effect, Noise Reduction, and hit, well, first of all, the first thing I need to do is actually select the whole thing. And I just did that by hitting Control A. Now I'll go to Noise Reduction, and then I'll hit OK. So whenever you're getting the noise profile, you're just getting it where you're being silent for 10 seconds or so. After that, you'll highlight the whole track, and that will get rid of any extra ambient noise you may have. After that, you can go to File, Export. I can export as MP3 because I have Lame for Audacity installed as well. The Audacity website has all that information listed there for you. So I'm going to save this as voice to presentation. Hit OK on that, and it is now exporting. So So if you remember from before, I also I actually had two videos. So is what I'll do is from there is I'll go into Documents and I'll locate my video. And in this case, I called this one the presentation tutorial. So I'm going to move this over here real quick. I'm going to drag and drop that onto here. And so after that, the next thing I want to do is get the file I just created. So I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to scrub through the timeline until I find the appropriate, I know it's somewhere around here. It looks like there's a spike in the audio right about here. So I'm going to drag and drop this down here, and what I want to do is I know that this down here is empty space. Ah, you bastard. There we go. So I think this right here is where I actually clapped. I'm going to click here on the time bar, or the timeline, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to scrub in. So essentially, let me move this back. This is where I clapped, and this is where the clap's at. So I'm just going to try and line these two up, and it looks like I'm still not quite there. So it should be right about here. If I scrub back here,
you're going to see me clap.
So it had a slight delay on that. I actually need to move this back a little bit more, I think.
This is what you're going to see me clap.
Let me move this forward just a little bit more. And then that's all I do is I just try to line these.
This is what you're going to see me clap. This is what.
Okay. So I don't think that's the main area where I actually clapped at. So I need to look for the other part where I actually, I think this is where I clapped. I just didn't, unless this is the actual spike. Yeah, you only want to clap once, otherwise you're going to run into this issue.
Or I'll do that first,
Okay,
and then
so right here is where you'd start your. So I'm going to pause the video right here. I'm going to line up my splices, and whenever I'm done, you'll see the final output of it.